Casinos are meticulously crafted to be irresistible. The glittering lights, the rhythmic symphony of clinking chips and slot machines, the air thick with anticipation, it all creates an intoxicating atmosphere that fuels the primal human desire for both excitement and potential riches. But beneath the dazzling facade lies a meticulously designed industry, where games are crafted with a distinct advantage for the house. Skilled players can certainly win, but the odds are always stacked slightly against them. This is where the story of the gambler with the hidden computer becomes intriguing. The idea of outsmarting the casino, of turning the tables on a system designed for the house to win, is undeniably captivating. However, the path of using hidden technology is fraught with ethical and practical challenges. Firstly, it's a blatant violation of the trust casinos extend to their patrons. These establishments rely on fair play to maintain a healthy and legal operation. Introducing a hidden device disrupts that balance, creating an unfair advantage and potentially spoiling the experience for other players. Secondly, the practicality of using such a device is questionable. Modern casinos employ a sophisticated security apparatus, hidden cameras, vigilant pit bosses trained to spot even the slightest hint of unusual behavior, and advanced technology to detect anomalies in gameplay. All these factors make successfully using a hidden computer a risky proposition. The potential for getting caught, facing hefty fines, and even jail time throws a long shadow over any potential gains. Finally, there's the question of personal satisfaction. True gambling exhilaration comes from the thrill of the game, the calculated risks, and the element of chance. Outsmarting the system with a hidden device removes these elements, leaving a hollow victory behind. Ultimately, the story of the gambler with the hidden computer, while captivating in its audacity, serves as a cautionary tale. Since the invention of slot machines in the late 1800s, people have struggled to figure out how to manipulate the games. The games were designed to ensure the proprietor of the game a healthy profit, while offering players very little chance of winning. Although there have been many people throughout history who have mastered the art of cheating the casinos, Ron Harris was one of the many people who have perfected the art of gaming the casinos throughout history. But he went above and beyond to make the process as simple as possible. Imagine Ronald Dale Harris, a man shrouded in a veil of anonymity. Born on July 3rd, 1956, his early life remains a mystery. But then, in the early 1990s, Harris steps into the harsh glare of the casino spotlight. Not as a gambler seeking a lucky streak, but as an unlikely sentinel, a guardian tasked with a peculiar mission. Harris lands a coveted position at the Nevada Gaming Control Board. The glitz and glamour of Las Vegas hold little sway for him. His gaze is fixed on the lines of code, the digital engine that powers the slot machines and casino games. Harris isn't there to spin the wheel or test his luck. He's there to crack the code, to be the thorn in the side of these computerized games, ferreting out errors and exploits that could tip the scales in favor of the player. By day, Harris meticulously dissects the software, his mind a labyrinth of algorithms and probabilities. By night, the city thrums with a different kind of energy. One wonders if a part of him, ever so small, yearned for the intoxicating thrill of the games he vigilantly protected. But Harris's mission was clear: to safeguard the integrity of the games, to ensure that chance, not manipulation, dictated the winners and losers. His story, though shrouded in secrecy, offers a glimpse into the complex world of casinos, where technology and chance converge in a high-stakes dance. Casinos have a reputation for being impenetrable fortresses, bastions of security where chance reigns supreme. But the allure of a quick score and the thrill of defying the odds has always tempted some to seek out chinks in the armor. So, can casinos be cheated? The answer is yes, but with a giant caveat: it's incredibly difficult, and the risks far outweigh the rewards. Casinos employ a multi-layered defense system. Sleight-of-hand tricks like card marking or past posting, placing chips on a winning number after the spin, are becoming obsolete against eagle-eyed cameras and security personnel. Technological advancements have rendered marked cards useless with electronic shufflers and random number generators for slot machines. Even targeting biases in roulette wheels is a fool's errand. Casinos meticulously maintain their equipment and constantly monitor for irregularities. Elaborate cheating rings in casinos might involve a web of accomplices, corrupt dealers who use sleight of hand to manipulate cards or dice, shills who place strategic bets to influence the game for others, and even spotters who use hidden technology to track cards or relay information. These schemes can be lucrative in the short term, but casinos are constantly upping their security game. They employ a range of countermeasures, from highly trained pit bosses with keen eyes for suspicious behavior to cutting-edge surveillance technology that can detect even the subtlest anomalies. The risk of getting caught is significant, and the consequences are steep. Cheating can result in hefty fines, jail time, and a permanent ban from all casinos, effectively ruining your reputation and future gambling prospects. The potential rewards simply don't outweigh the immense risks involved. So how did he defeat casinos with such ease? Ron had unrivaled access to the devices he intended to use to amass enormous wealth because he worked in the Nevada Gaming Control Board's electronic section. Before being placed on the casino floor, it was his responsibility to inspect brand new slot machines and the number counters on the Keno machines. At that point, he discovered that the machine's chips were EEPROM, Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory, or EEPROM, is not the kind of chip that should have been used in a slot machine. Ron had all the opportunities he needed thanks to these chips. He could erase them and reprogram them with his own programs thanks to these chips. He had created a program that would allow the machine to pay out jackpots in accordance with the player's style of play. He designed his program such that a player would always win the large money if they played the game according to a specific pattern. His work included going into casinos at random to make sure the chips being used by the machines were the identical ones that had been approved when the game was first installed. The fact that Ron was using authorized chips meant that it made no difference if one of his co-workers was given a game he had rigged. The chip would still match the game. This is what made his plan so very clever. He managed to keep the original chips in the machine, reprogramming it to take a different route to jackpot payouts than what the game's creators had intended. For the casino and the Nevada Gaming Control Board, this method was virtually undetectable because there were only minor modifications in the code. Ron was headed for a tidy little gain at the casino, one that would allow him to maintain his comfortable salary. However, the downfall of every fantastic story is always something that could have been avoided had Ron not become careless. He had always exercised caution while allowing others to enter and win the jackpots. He had taken advantage of his ex-wife and other relatives who were ready to assist him in his fraud. After playing the games for a bit, they would employ the winning combinations Ron had provided them. Since the prizes had been modest, they were able to continue operating the fraud under the radar and avoid being overtly visible. With the time things fell apart, Ron had been employed with the gaming board for almost a decade. Additionally, he had been operating his scam in numerous Nevadan casinos before deciding to expand to other states. It was time, he concluded, to visit Atlantic City. If Ron had been more meticulous and had chosen a companion who wouldn't betray him the moment danger arose, this trip may have been quite profitable for him. To all my young viewers, remember gambling's allure is undeniable. The possibility of transforming your life overnight with a lucky spin or well-placed bet is a powerful motivator. Glittering casinos and online platforms beckon with promises of excitement and escape, offering a temporary reprieve from the everyday grind. But before you get swept up in the glamour, it's essential to weigh the potential downsides. While responsible gambling can be an occasional source of amusement, it's important to remember that the games are meticulously designed to give the house an edge. The thrill of the win can be intoxicating, but it's crucial to maintain perspective. The odds are always skewed in favor of the casino, and frequent wins are far more statistical anomaly than everyday occurrence. More importantly, gambling addiction is a very real danger. The accessibility of online platforms and the deceptive ease of placing a bet can lead some down a slippery slope. What starts as a casual flutter can quickly spiral into a compulsive behavior, leading to financial devastation. Lost rent payments, maxed out credit cards, and even stolen funds are grim realities for those struggling with gambling addiction. The emotional toll can be just as severe. Strained relationships, broken trust with loved ones, and the constant burden of chasing losses can take a significant mental health toll. Depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts can plague those caught in the throes of addiction. If you're considering gambling, prioritize entertainment over enrichment. Set firm financial limits beforehand and stick to them religiously. Regard any winnings as a windfall, not a springboard for further betting. Remember, casinos are designed to be seductive. The sights, sounds, and atmosphere are all carefully crafted to keep you engaged and spending. Gamble cautiously, be prepared to walk away a loser, and prioritize responsible gaming practices to ensure it remains just that, a fleeting entertainment, not a life-altering pursuit. Ron was now working with keno machines in his employment. He was trying to find a technique to play the keno machines with a win guarantee. Although these machines have some of the lowest odds of paying out, they also have some of the biggest jackpots. Ron had taken up his profession with keno machines. He was trying to find a method for playing the keno machines that would ensure a victory. These machines have the biggest jackpots available, even though they are among those with the lowest likelihood of paying out. Ron was a wise man and chose to try this game this time by traveling to Atlantic City. Since he knew he couldn't win the game, he sought the assistance of a friend he felt he could trust. Reed Errol McNeil was this buddy. On January 14th, 1995, McNeil walked inside Bally's Park Place Casino in Atlantic City. The goal was to play the keno machine for a while, then follow the instructions to trigger the jackpot. He purchased $100 in keno tickets and proceeded to play. The game's odds were 230,000 to 1, indicating a significant disadvantage. McNeil follows Harris's instructions and achieves a perfect score of 8 out of 8 on one ticket. Harris had a record-breaking jackpot victory, and McNeil was not the right person to receive it. McNeil did not show any reaction after winning a $100,000 jackpot. This made him wary of the casino right away. McNeil was dissatisfied with his winnings, regardless of whether they were obtained through cheating or luck. Harris and McNeil made more mistakes than just a lack of feeling that night. New Jersey law requires the state gaming division to verify any jackpot over $35,000. McNeil's lack of identification when claiming his winnings led the Gaming Commission to suspect fraud, so when the officials from the Gaming Commission arrived, they brought along 2 state patrol officers along with them. The officers took McNeil up to his room at the casino, and when they arrived in the room, they meet Ron Harris. Although at first, they don't think anything of it, they will later. They find out he was the mastermind behind it all. The soldiers leave Ron in the room and take McNeil downstairs to finish asking him questions. They were unaware that they had let go of the man who had worked tirelessly to reach this point. After they had talked to McNeil downstairs, the troopers returned to the room to talk with Ron, but he was gone. They took this opportunity to search the room, and what they found helped put the case together and stop a highly sophisticated thief. Troopers discovered computer equipment, chips, manuals detailing Bally's machine upgrades, scam instructions, and Ron's handwritten notes in Ron's shared room with McNeil. The police came to the realization that they needed to find Ron because he was the one who had put it all together. McNeil was arrested that night in Atlantic City, but Ron had gotten the jump on them, or at least he thought he had. Ron did not have a safe location to hide in case of such an incident, so he returned to Nevada. Nevada state troopers detained him when he stepped off the plane. Ron had retooled over 30 gaming machines and made thousands of dollars during his 2-year theft spree before being apprehended. Ron, like many criminals before him, succumbed to avarice, which ultimately led to his downfall. Ron will forever be known as one of the most illustrious casino thieves' history. Using his intelligence to defraud multiple casinos of thousands of dollars in a relatively short amount of time is not something just anyone can do. Despite Ron's intelligence, he lacked the requisite abilities to carry out the scheme alone. He could have earned greatly by using his skills for good at casinos, rather than attempting to take advantage. His innovative plan involved reprogramming the machines to only pay out when a specific sequence was followed. This enabled him to determine when it was appropriate for the player to win. If he had stuck to his original strategy of winning modestly, he could have lasted much longer. However, as with most stories, greed prevailed, and the lure of enormous money became too alluring. He made a mistake not only by aiming for the big win, but also by enlisting Reed McNeil's help. Mr. McNeil may have been unprepared to win big in a casino, or he intentionally made mistakes that led to their downfall. Nobody will ever know. Ron was sacked from the Nevada Gaming Control Board after being arrested for failing to complete a task in New Jersey. The inquiry into his work with the gaming board resulted in charges against him, his ex-wife, and 2 acquaintances for other incidents. Ron could have done so many things differently with his scheme. He might have stayed under the radar by focusing on lesser prizes. If he wasn't satisfied, he could have improved his studies. If he had ensured McNeil had proper identification and educated him on how to act after winning, they could have gotten away with it. Ron should have anticipated the inevitable collapse and been more prepared. In the end, the guilty always have to pay for their crimes, and Ron is no different. In July of 1998, Ron pleaded guilty to the charges in both Nevada and New Jersey and was sentenced to serve 7 years in prison. He was also placed on the blacklist in both Nevada and New Jersey. This means he is never allowed to gamble in either state for the rest of his life. Following his conviction, his story became the topic of numerous documentaries and stories, demonstrating the weaknesses in casino gaming systems. The scam prompted reforms in regulatory policies and technology to prevent repeat thefts, influencing the gambling industry's approach to security. Harris is frequently mentioned in discussions about casino security and fraud, like an infamous figure whose activities serve as a cautionary tale. Thanks for sticking around for the whole video. I hope you found the information helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know you enjoyed the content and helps the algorithm share it with others who might find it interesting too. Speaking of sharing, if you think this video could benefit someone you know, hit that share button. Knowledge is meant to be spread after all. And to stay up to date on all my latest uploads, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. As always, I love to hear from you guys in the comments. Whether you have a question about today's topic, a suggestion for a future video, or just want to say hi, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to respond. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.